Hello, I'm Sarah. I'm an aspiring author. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to look at some more of my old writing. I thought it would be nice to, keep that train going and kind of keep seeing how my writing would grow. And this would be my next big project after my first YA dystopian novel. This one being a YA contemporary novel. Contemporary was definitely where I felt most comfortable, as I discovered with this project. I got the idea for this story around 2015, 2016. It just started as a little nugget of an idea that I wrote down in a notebook. And it was, in the early stages, I called it Behind the Scenes. Kind of generic title, but it was fitting. And it was about a girl and a boy who were both movie fans, very big movie fans, and they bonded over that. I wasn't sure about all the details yet. I just knew I wanted it to be about a girl who was on the shyer side, and she would meet this boy who would challenge her to do this bucket list of movie clichés, so things like kissing in the rain. I started doing the actual writing for this project the last year of undergrad, and then it would go on to be the writing sample I would use to apply to grad school. And then that would continue on to be my MFA thesis. Throughout the 3 years in my MFA program, this project definitely went through a lot of changes. I changed the title, from Behind the Scenes to Some. And Some is a Korean term, Korean slang, that means it's kind of like a fling, or I don't know how to define it. Maybe I'll type it up here. The main character's names changed, and I believe in the beginning this was just in the perspective of the female main character, but eventually it became a dual perspective with the guy and the girl. This novel was a struggle to write, and I did not finish it. I ended up submitting a partial for my thesis, which you were allowed to do. I believe it was about 200 pages. So it was almost done. But that was about all I could do at the time. And then afterwards, after I submitted it, after I graduated, I just couldn't finish it. I never went back to it. I got the idea for a different project, which you might know as Project Road Trip, and then that took off. So yeah, I did get excited about that project, but I also believe that I just realized that I wasn't ready to write Some. I realized the topics that I chose to write about, they were a little too heavy for me, and it wasn't something I felt comfortable exploring. Even though I think Some will be forever shelved, I was proud of it. I was happy with it. I had a lot of fun writing it, workshopping it, and it was definitely a step above my YA dystopian novel, so there's that. I am going to hop onto my computer, and I'm going to show you some parts. I think maybe the introduction, kind of show you what the structure is like, because it is an interesting structure. And then I think I'll also show you my main character's meet cute. It should be fun and hopefully not cringe at all. So let's get into it. Alright, so this is my manuscript, and as you'll see, I have the format looking a little bit like a screenplay. My male main character is into writing screenplays, so I played around with that, and I thought it would be an interesting way to open chapters, and also as a way to switch perspectives. So this is the prologue. Let's look at this here. August 2017, Angel Rock, Texas, which is a made-up place. Exterior, subdued neighborhood. We focus on Dally So, 17, and his younger sister, Sue So, 16. And then the name Dally, it'll get into it in this novel, but I did name him after Dallas Winston in The Outsiders, one of my favorite books, one of my favorite movies, and it is one of my character's favorite movies, so I incorporated that, and I think it was a little too heavy-handed, but starting off in Dally's perspective, something's wrong. Sue and I are walking back from school, our first day back from summer vacation, and she's rambling on about how much she loves her nutrition class. I'm not really listening. I feel like I forgot something. I touch my back pocket, and my phone is still there. Keys, wallet, still there. Sue trails off, and I look up to see 2 police cars parked in our driveway. She runs past me and straight into the house, but I'm stuck where I am, willing my life to pause right there. It's not that I'm forgetting something. I'm sensing a change. This is that point in a movie when tragedy hits the main character. Someone's sick, someone's hurt, or someone's... I want to turn and run in the opposite direction, as far away from the house as possible, but my life isn't a movie. I can't pause and walk away. I head inside and follow the sound of muffled voices until I'm standing in the kitchen. The first thing I see is Sue crumpled on the floor, my Oma's arms wrapped around her and rocking them back and forth. Behind them, my Appa is seated at the breakfast table with the 2 police officers, his hand shielding his eyes as he rubs his temple. The only one missing is my older brother, Youngbin. He's the change. And then switching over to my female main character. Cut to Baylen, Virginia, also made up. Interior, Baylen University campus. Molly Feinberg, 18, stands in her new dorm with parents David Feinberg, 48, and Lindy Feinberg, 47. Molly. After one last squeeze, my dad releases me and follows my mom out. I wave goodbye until the door creaks shut, and then I'm alone. This is it. This dorm room is my new home. I step onto the floral rug between the 2 beds and spin in a circle to take everything in. The feeling I'm left with isn't exactly what I expected, or at least hoped for. My phone buzzes with a text, and I read how my best friend Jess is settling at her own school up in Wisconsin. She'd wanted to stay close to her parents, which I understood. I, on the other hand, wanted to be as far from my parents as possible. Not that we have a bad relationship or anything. I figured that was what teenagers did. Move away from home, start big somewhere new. Okay, I think. What now? I stop to face my roommate's side of the room, already covered with string lights and family photos, and I wonder where she ran off to after introducing herself. Is she already eager to start avoiding me? Feeling a headache, I push my glasses down to pinch the bridge of my nose. No, she was probably eager to start exploring the campus, like you should be. I stare at the door for a solid minute, chewing the inside of my cheek. I could explore the campus. Or I could find the nearest movie theater. But the latter would be the old me, and I didn't move over 1,500 miles to be the old me. Right? Right. With that in mind, I grab my keys and phone with purpose and head out. However, with each step I take and each stranger I pass, that pathetic sliver of confidence slowly diminishes. Then one look at the group of fellow freshmen by the front door, and I stop. There are too many eyes, too many voices. You got this, Mal. Just go. I pat my sweaty hands on my jeans, and I just go. Then I think the formatting here is a little wonky because I transferred this from a Word doc. And then that goes into scene 1, back to Dally. Samuel L. Jackson's exasperated voice booms somewhere near my right ear, and I jolt awake. Had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. Had it with these motherfucking snakes on this. My hands swipe across the bed, but it doesn't make contact with my phone. As Mr. Jackson continues his snake rant, I roll into my stomach and kick around until I hear the phone hit the carpet below. I reach down to press the button that silenced the alarm, and I squint at the blinding screen. 3:36 a.m. Every part of my body is telling me to relax and sleep for a couple more hours, but my brain reminds me that I don't have that privilege. That reminder crashes into me along with the scene from that day. The day the officers told us that young Ben had used a power cord to hang himself in the garage. Only a week before he was supposed to start college. He's gone. Young is gone. Yes, dipshit, when are you going to get that through your head? Now, like I said, I really struggled to write about grief, and I think that's because I haven't really experienced grief myself. And I mean, I don't think you need to have experienced something to write about it. I think you can always do plenty of research and also always use your imagination. But with a topic like grief, where it's so deep, it's so visceral, it's something you need to get right. And I didn't think I could do that with research alone. So when I look at this, never apparently, it's like an alternate reality. When I'm asleep, I'm asleep. I don't have to think about anything about him. Benny being gone is just a separate thing. But when I'm awake, I have to accept that it's reality. It's my reality, and it has been for almost 4 months. I don't want to be here in a world without him, but I am. Now get your lazy ass up. See, I do like that, but again, reading it back, it just doesn't feel authentic to me. You might think differently, maybe this is written okay, but again, I just didn't feel comfortable writing about grief when it's something I haven't experienced, something I don't have a lot of knowledge on. I'm going to scroll down a bit and get back to Molly. And Molly, of course, I felt a lot more comfortable writing about because her experiences being a very shy, reserved person, starting off in college, being very scared, was something I did relate to, so that was very easy to write about. Molly. Behind me, Wesley and Inigo's big fight scene is coming to a close. Their banter is drowned out by the hum of the microwave, but I can hear the rise of the music and the clanging of their swords. Before the timer hits 0, I open the microwave door and free my hot chocolate. The timer blinks back to the current time, 4:36 a.m. Damn. I calculate how much sleep I could have. I have US film at 10 a.m. and then intro to journalism at 12 p.m. So if I go to bed by 6, I'll get... I tap, tap, tap my mug. Only 3 hours. 3? 3? How the heck did that happen? What do you mean, how did it happen? I turn back to the Princess Bride playing on my laptop. At Wesley walking past in an unconscious Inigo. Before it had been Splash playing, then I'd wanted another Tom Hanks movie, so I'd moved on to Forrest Gump. Then I'd wanted another Robin Wright movie, so yeah, I probably should have stopped with Splash. You think? So with those first few chapters, I'm just getting into my character's daily routine, seeing where they are in life. Dally is very much still grieving his brother. It's only been a couple of months. And Molly, she's getting used to college. And the further you get into the story, you see it's not really a great experience for her. She doesn't really enjoy school. She doesn't enjoy socializing. And it's pretty hard for her getting out there. She doesn't know how to make friends, how to make relationships. I'm skipping ahead a little bit. This is when Molly returns to her hometown, which is, of course, where Dally lives. And she's going back to her favorite cinema, which I named Cinnabar Cinema. I don't know if you'll recognize that, but I got the name Cinnabar from Pokemon. there was this episode that took place on Cinnabar Island, which... I'm such a nerd. Molly has really bad anxiety, so here she struggles to even get out of her car just to go out because she's so aware of people watching her. She's scared of people judging her, which is something I deal with. So she can't even get out of her car. She's nervous to have to go up, to get in line, to have to talk to the cashier. And then once she's actually in the theater is when she's in her element. It's safe once I'm in my theater, in my own seat, officially separated from everyone else. But still, I clasp onto the armrests, waiting for my heartbeat to slow. I feel so incredibly stupid. The previews flashing by don't make it any easier. I release a slow breath, again wondering how I did this the last time. It's like I'm somehow messing everything up when there's nothing to mess up. And just like that, as if the projectionist could sense I was about to go over the edge, the images on screen ease into the final setting. This is it. This is where my friends are. More than ever, I need to see them, for the sake of my own sanity. After 30 seconds of logos, a new world explodes before me. Boom. The audience is gone, the seats are gone, the theater is gone. Tanya reveals herself and pulls me out of my reality and into hers, at last. I think she was seeing the movie I, Tanya. Unlike the guy at the ticket booth, she doesn't look like she's going to judge me at all. She's not expecting anything out of me. She's taking puffs from her cigarette and urging me to follow her deeper into the movie. And I barely even have to think. I just let her. Some background. My character, Dally, works at the movie theater that Molly is at right now, so they're about to have their little run-in. Sean taps my arm with one of the dustpans. Theater 6. I nod and run over to the theater. I, Tanya. I haven't gotten to reading the reviews for this one, but the trailer looked great. Da-da-da-da-da. As I walk through the doors, the end credits peek around the corner. I come around and try to use what little light there is coming from the screen to get a good look around. Empty. I make my way up when I feel something smush beneath my shoes. I look down to see 2 handfuls of spilled junior mints, some already stepped on and smeared all over the floor. I groan and shift into the aisle, following the trail of chocolate to find the source. What, did this person actually try to drop every piece of... My foot hits something, and before I know it, I'm on the ground. I try to make out what I tripped over and nearly lose it when I realize it's a leg. Fucking Christ. I clutch my chest in surprise, as does the girl in the seat. I'm sorry, she sputters, standing up. Even in this low light, I catch her heavy blush. She's almost as red as her glasses frames, which automatically makes me feel like the bad guy, even though I'm the one on the floor, covered in chocolate. No, I'm sorry, I say, getting back on my feet and wiping my hands clean. I didn't mean to swear at you, you just scared me. What are you... The girl smooths out her shirt. I was watching... She looks back at the screen as more credits pass by. Nothing. She seems to get lost in thought, and I find myself searching her face. And I think Molly just sits back down, and then Dally continues to work, which is so awkward. And then he's really curious about her, so... Alright, I think, screw it. I may come across as a total creep, but I can't help my curiosity. I walk back up to the girls' row and make my way over. She immediately drops her legs, ready to run, but freezes when I make myself comfortable in the seat next to hers. So I have a question, I say, crossing my arms. Her wide owl eyes are telling me to stop right there, but it's like I'm not even me. It's like I've gone off script and I can't find my way back. Molly. I've forgotten how to act human. I don't know how to move, how to speak. I can only stare at the cashier guy as my face bursts into flames. Thankfully, he's not looking at me. He's looking at the screen as he continues, Do you not have any friends? Do I not? Am I hearing this right? Who asks a stranger that? He at least cringes from his own words. Sorry, that came out wrong. I just meant, you're here by yourself? Watching end credits from the looks of it for fun? Oh, right. I guess it makes sense to come to that conclusion. Molly and Dally get to talking, and Molly's actually pretty comfortable talking with him. They're both cinephiles. He senses her shyness and her anxiety, so he kind of knows how to approach conversation with her. So by the end, he ends up giving her his number, and then things kind of go from there. They become friends. They get to talking about how Molly's inexperienced in a lot of ways, and they create this bucket list and decide to work on it together. I've actually found the list, so let's look through it. Okay, so, right, they used some of her favorite movies and used things that happen in those movies as things that they wanted her to do. So, Pretty in Pink, go to a house party. The Goonies, hunt for treasure. The Princess Bride, conquer the cliffs of insanity. School of Rock, see a kick-ass rock concert. Kill Bill, get in a catfight without killing anyone. Harry Potter, join a Quidditch team. Scream, prank call someone, again, without killing anyone. Spider-Man 2, save someone, spider suit optional. The Breakfast Club, dance in a school library. She's the Man, cross-dress for a day. John Tucker Must Die, get back at an ex. And then The Outsiders, TBA. You can't be serious, she says after reading it. You don't actually expect me to do all of this, do you? Oh, man. I don't remember... Oh, it's been so long. I don't remember which ones they got through. I think they did the house party. I think they did the treasure. Oh, right, they did do the dance in the school library. I wonder if I can find that one. Oh, you know what? It's actually the first one they do. So, let's see. What do you think she should start with, Sue? The treasure hunt and rock concert sound fun, but maybe you should start her off easy with the prank call. Whoa, no, Molly speaks up. That is not easy. I mean, not for me at least. Sue and I exchange glances. Okay, Sue says, you know what? Maybe you need to start off big. Get all them nerves out of you. Molly looks unsure, so I stand and grab the list back. She's right, I say. Let's go big. Break into Lakeside. Come on. Let's dance. And then Molly. It's the dead of night, and we're piling into Dally's minivan to, I'm pretty sure, break the law. As Dally and Sue figure out a break-in plan, I remain silent in the back, clutching the bucket list and bouncing my leg. What is happening right now? This is insane. Maybe you should do something insane for once. You know what? Maybe you should stop getting the last word. Yeah, Molly does like to talk to herself like that. Let's see. Going into Dally's perspective. Sue raises her hand and says, Ooh, wait, can I be Molly Ringwald? No, you cannot be Molly Ringwald, I say. Why not? Because Molly has to be Molly Ringwald. Duh. You be the other girl. The, Ally Sheedy, Molly cuts in. She played Allison. Right, Allison, the crazy one. You calling me crazy? You really have to ask that? She sinks into her chair and crosses her arms. Fine, I can be Allison. Then who are you gonna be? The jock? Yeah, right, like I could do all those flips and shit. I look back to my phone, finally finding the right track. I press it and the song explodes from the speakers, making us all jump. Sorry, I say, turning the volume down. At the same time, there's a screech, followed by, Who the hell? I turn around towards the voice and lock eyes with Sean. The hell? That's what I said, he says, draping his earphones around his neck. What are y'all doing here? So Sean is Dally's friend. He also works at the movie theater with him. And later on, he ends up having a bit of a romance with Dally's sister. That's a fun little plot line. Okay, I think with Sean being at the library, he also joins them with the dancing. You want to join us? Sue asks. pushing past me. We're doing the breakfast club dance. He looks at Sue, me, Molly, then back at me. You mean the scene after they got high? Well, yeah, but we're not doing that part. He laughs. Y'all are crazy. Is that a no? I think he's about to make fun of us again, but instead he shrugs, pulling off his earphones and stuffing them in his pocket. Didn't say I wasn't crazy. Go ahead, crank it all the way up. Molly. I gotta say, my heart burst like a frickin' balloon when Sean showed up, and I was this close to actually running out of there before Dally and Sue started talking. Besides a slight nod in my direction, he didn't really acknowledge me. But now here we are, the four of us jamming out in my old high school's library. It's like a hazy dream, all of us in our own little bubbles as we dance around. I'm sure I look nothing like Molly Ringwald, and though I'm moving too fast to see them, I'm sure the others look nothing like their respective characters. But I'm pretty sure none of us care. I sometimes dance throughout my dorm room when I'm getting ready for class, or hell, when it's just another boring Saturday. But this is different, liberating. Having the music so loud that I feel it in my entire body. Having an open space where I don't have to worry about bumping into my bed or my sink. Having other people here with me. Da-da-da. I hear Dally and Sean singing along to We Are Not Alone every now and then, and they're so out of breath and off key that it gets me laughing hysterically. It's dizzying, and I almost trip over my own feet, but I can't stop. I wonder if this is what it felt like back in 8th grade, or if this is what it feels like for the Balin students who go clubbing. Nah, this is better. A million times better. I pound my fists into the air, using up the rest of my energy, and then collapse to the floor in a heap of sweat and heavy breathing. The song fades to an end, and I feel someone softly nudge me with their foot. That's my move, I hear Sue say. I roll over onto my back and look up to her. Sorry, I gasp out. I love that scene. I love these characters. It does make me sad that I could never finish this, but it really is like looking back almost like at a photo album or looking at old videotapes. It's like looking back at old friends. Yeah, it's nostalgic. I think I'm going to stop there. This is 200 pages, and I don't think I can show you all of that, but I think the next time we go down memory lane and go over another old project of mine, it'll be a short story. Since Halloween is approaching, I'd really like to look over a ghost story I wrote years ago. I hope you guys will look forward to that. So, until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.